When should you inspect your bus? Before and after each trip, this ensures the vehicle is safe and ready for operation at all times. Let's move on to the next question. What should you do if a rider is being disruptive? Notify the proper authorities. This helps maintain safety without escalating the situation. On to the following question. Where should standees stay while the bus is in motion? Behind the standee line, this area is designated to ensure clear visibility and movement for the driver. Here comes the next one. What is the safest way to deal with unruly passengers? Stop in a safe place and notify authorities. It prevents distractions and ensures safety for all. Let's continue. When approaching a railroad crossing, what must you do? Stop and open your front door. This is to listen and check for trains before proceeding. Ready for the next? How often should mirrors be checked while driving? Regularly. Frequent mirror checks help monitor traffic and passenger behavior. Let's keep it going. Why should you not talk to passengers while driving? It's distracting and unsafe. Any distraction can compromise safety on the road. Let's go to the next question. How should you handle a disabled passenger with a service animal? Allow the service animal to ride. Service animals are legally permitted to assist passengers. Moving right along, what should be done if you see a hazardous material label on baggage? Do not carry it. Hazardous materials are not allowed on passenger buses. Let's see the next question. What must you ensure before leaving a bus stop? All passengers are seated or secure. This prevents injuries during movement. Here comes another one. What should you do at drawbridges without a signal light? Stop at least 50 feet before the bridge. This precaution avoids driving into an open bridge. Next question coming up. How should you secure the bus if you leave it unattended? Turn off engine, remove keys, and set parking brake. This prevents unauthorized use and movement. Let's proceed. What is the main purpose of the emergency exit? To allow evacuation in case of emergency. Quick exits can save lives during emergencies. Here's the next one. What should you do before driving with passengers on board? Check the bus thoroughly. A full inspection ensures the bus is safe and operational. Next one coming up. What is your primary concern when operating a bus? Safety of passengers. The driver's responsibility is to protect all on board. Let's go to the next. Where should you never refuel a bus with passengers on board? In a closed building. Refueling in enclosed spaces can lead to dangerous fumes or fires. Let's keep it rolling. What is required of bus drivers regarding seat belts? They must wear them while driving. Seat belts are a legal and safety requirement. Moving forward. When should you use the interlock system? When loading or unloading passengers. The interlock ensures the bus doesn't move while doors are open. Here comes the next one. What is the best action if brakes fail while driving? Use the emergency brake slowly. Controlled braking can reduce risk and avoid accidents. Next question now. If a passenger is drunk and disorderly, what should you do? Refuse to transport them if necessary. This protects other passengers in the safe operation of the bus. Let's continue. What should you check for at every stop before moving? All passengers are safely seated or holding on. Ensures no one is at risk when the bus begins to move. Ready for the next one. How far from a railroad crossing should you stop? 15 to 50 feet. This is the safe and legal stopping distance. Let's head to the next question. What is the best way to communicate with passengers? Speak clearly and respectfully. Good communication prevents confusion and helps maintain order. Let's go on. When should you discharge passengers? At designated safe stops. These locations are chosen to protect passenger safety. Here's another question. Why should you not allow riders to leave baggage in the aisle? It's a safety hazard. Obstructions in aisles can block emergency exits or cause trips. Let's keep moving. What should you do if your bus starts to hydroplane? Ease off the accelerator and steer straight. Sudden inputs can worsen the loss of traction. Next question ahead. Why is it important to check the emergency exits? To ensure they work properly in case of an emergency. Functional exits are critical for safe evacuation. Here comes the next. What must be visible to the driver at all times? Mirrors and gauges. These tools help the driver monitor the vehicle and surroundings. Let's go to the next question. If you must back up your bus, what's the safest method? Use a spotter outside the bus. A spotter can guide the driver safely and prevent accidents. On to the next. Why should you avoid sudden movements when driving a bus? They can cause passenger injuries. Gradual driving keeps everyone safe and comfortable. Let's keep going. What is the proper response to a stuck railroad gate? Find another route and report the issue. Crossing could be fatal. Reporting helps resolve the danger. Here's another question. If there is a fire on the bus, what should you do first? Stop and evacuate passengers. Passenger safety is always the top priority. Next one up. When should you adjust the driver's seat and mirrors? Before starting the trip, proper adjustment helps with visibility and control. Let's move forward. If a passenger is carrying hazardous material unknowingly, what do? Refuse to carry it and report it. Carrying dangerous materials can violate regulations and risk safety. Ready for the next question? What is the safest way to handle curves in the road? Slow down before entering. This prevents skidding and helps maintain control. Let's continue. What must be checked before operating a wheelchair lift? That it functions correctly and safely. Ensuring its proper operation is essential for safe boarding. Here comes another. When should you check for sleeping passengers? At the end of your route. This ensures no one is left behind. Let's go on to the next. What is the purpose of the bus kneeling feature? To lower the bus for easier boarding. This helps passengers with mobility challenges. Continuing on. When loading passengers, when should you open the door? When the bus is fully stopped. Opening the door while moving is unsafe. Last one coming up. What is your first responsibility if an accident occurs? Ensure the safety of all passengers. Protecting lives is always the highest priority. That's all for now.